my God, it's Tuesday. We're live. You know what that time is, right? 6 p.m. on the West Coast, 9 p.m. on that other side of the country. But still, we've got two amazing guests for you tonight. And guys, you know how we like to do things around here. Tonight is going to be really, really freaking different. First of all, we have a world record set. The first time he showed up early in 3 times. But, I'm not going to harp on that too much as I see him smiling down there. But here we go, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, TCT BNL, that's the sexy motherfucker right here, is proud to bring to you our soon-to-be world-famous No Lag Zone. And tonight, like I said, we got two. We are going to talk to some Kitchen Misfits. Thankfully, the first two I wanted went, hell yeah, we're in. But, one of them doesn't need any introduction. She is a soulless demon that sold everything to win beard products. Lady Ellie. And
hello.
We've got the beast from the East, the internationally acclaimed pisser offer, the orange gorilla himself, Chef Kalari. Oh, man.
I need an intro like that when I wake up every morning. Wake up, just start shadow boxing with record that and play it. It's going to be my alarm.
Before we get into you three guys, we're going to go through the roll call real quick, get that out the way. Joshua Ricks, I see you, King Ginger. Been forever and a day. Come on, fucking pull it up. There we go. Good to see you back, bro. Steven, how you doing? And the other Steven, Mr. Fleming over there in Ireland, your message ain't popping up over here, but I see it on my iPad, so glad you could stay up for this. You're going to love this. You really, really are. James, how you doing? All righty. Now, I know both you guys, but we do this every show in case somebody doesn't. Lady L, give me that elevator pitch about you.
Well, I currently live in Colorado, but I'm from New York. And New York. They love to hear me say certain words. Like, I can hide my accent for the most part. And I've been cooking since I was like 4.
See, there it goes. Just popping right out.
4.
Yeah, yep. You can just hear it. Hey, I'm fucking walking here.
Cooking since I was 4.
Oh, yeah. I walk to work a lot and definitely barrel through if I need to.
Yeah, it's that New York attitude. Move, I'm coming, move,
Bows.
Just saying, Ellie just boom.
I was called a baby rhino, so there's that.
Noah.
Alrighty, Steve, brother, I have been a fan of yours ever since that great tragedy a little while ago. But for my slight little viewers who aren't really familiar with the bowl in the China shop that you are, your turn, man. Give me that introduction.
I'm a guy who well, in this respect, I'm a kitchen veteran. I was cooking for 17 years professionally. But as far as why anybody knows me on YouTube or Instagram, I decided to open my camera one day and make a video comparing a couple steals, and then it took off, and I just say whatever the fuck I feel like, and apparently half the people it pisses off, and the other half enjoy it. So.
But you see, before we get right into the kitchen, and I got to bring this out, I want everybody scroll through his Instagram because I think that's where he left it. This is a man who can turn abortion versus Chinese blades into something that makes you sit and go, holy fuck, he's right. The only guy I've ever known. Ever.
I'm just a little smarter than I look. I think too much.
Fuck your birds, and I hope your kid's doing okay, brother. Good to see you here.
Well, it's like I said, we have to be a little bit of a sadist to be in the kitchen.
You have to be. Yes, absolutely.
We're some of the hardest working sons of bitches you'll ever know.
Now, this is why I really wanted you guys here. Chef, you gave me a great education on life in the kitchen, but I went down some YouTube rabbit holes. And I'm sitting and thinking, and this is the first thing for both of you. What is it with you demented motherfuckers in a kitchen who think you're rock stars. And I'm going to use like Gordon Ramsay. I'm going to use in Canada, what is it? The Demon Chef, Andrew Ling, something like that. He literally looks like you had a video game against Karens, and he's the boss Karen with his jet blue hair, but looking feminine as fuck.
He must be young.
I saw that, especially when he told a contestant, I don't like being told I'm wrong. I'm like, then grow the fuck up, mister. I'm a chef. You can be wrong.
It's all ego. Some people have a big ego.
Every chef has an ego.
Is that like really, really required? You should be sleeping when the baby's sleeping, dude. Seriously, I'm glad to see you here, but your sleep is done, brother. Done.
It's I think it's just any trade work. Any trade works like that. Like if you ever meet someone who's like a really like a, I don't know what the term would be, like a master carpenter or an iron worker or something like that. They're gonna have an ego. If you go up to an iron worker of 15 years and tell him his welds are wrong, he's gonna punch you in the fucking teeth. Is what he's gonna do. You know what I mean? So it's just that line of work. You know what I mean? Like it's blue collar work. And guys, if you go tell you were in the military, Chris.
Yeah.
If you get some young, I don't know what the term would be, like a second lieutenant come up to some senior chief who's been in there for 15, 20 years and tells him that, whatever by the book doesn't quite look right, he's going to knock his teeth out is what he's going to do. You know what I mean? It's just that.
It's really funny you mention that because one of my former platoon sergeants was getting bitched out by a brand new West Point graduate, and the battalion commander walked by. He goes, "What the hell's going on?" I'm like, "Sir, the butter bar's yelling at Ray Ray." And the lieutenant colonel stopped. He goes, "He hasn't fucking killed him yet." And we started taking bets right there how long it was going to be.
You just wait for it to spill over and shit to hit the fan.
Yeah. It struck me because I'm seeing like everybody's got to be a rock star, and I get it's TV. You've got to have something, especially when your two sidekicks are like, "That dish is very, very nice. You tried really hard, but you failed to do this." That's not good TV. You've got to have that out of control Tasmanian devil.
Oh no, it's a thing. Some people just have that attitude, that ego, that my balls are the biggest, so you can suck them.
The kitchen atmosphere is a giant dick measuring contest, constant, all the time, 24/7. It's full. It's a male dominated industry, so it's just nothing but it's just a dick measuring contest, 24/7. So and
when you lack one, it's kind of hard to do that.
Yeah, so it's like it's and everyone's, especially in the kitchen's very competitive. Everyone's jockeying, right, for more and more position, right, trying to get better and better and better. Some kitchens not so much, but some. So that's why everybody's like the people with that are a little bit off are the ones that those are the ones that can work 18 hours straight, get hammered, wake up and do it again, and keep doing that over and over again. Those are the guys that end up, or the girls that end up in the chef seat. You know what I mean? Everything, nothing but wildness. Yeah, it's delinquent shit. It's exactly because that's where, especially in the
Village Inn, we kept vodka in the low boy, just chilled on ice.
It's like and kids today are different. They're not. So like kids, you get guys now that are like in their teens and early 20s, and they'll show up to work fucked up. They'll get fucked up the night before and then show up to work like not worth a fuck. But they think that that's cool. And it's like, that's not how this works. You're supposed to get shit hammered and then show up the next day like nothing happened. That's the dick measurement contest. It's how, or like if you're on the line actually getting like your fucking balls kicked in all night, how shit hammered can you get on a Friday night doing 500 covers and not fuck anything up? That's the trick. It's not, anybody can get shit hammered. I can just turn a bottle of Jack upside down and I'll be shit hammered in 10 minutes. Right. Can you maintain your badassery, right? Can you not slip up? Because in the kitchen, you can't be wrong ever. Like, that's why they get such an ego, because people will go to like a fucking mechanic, right? And they'll just be like, yeah, change my tires. And they won't look at shit. They won't ask shit. They won't do nothing. They just assume it's fine. They'll spend $500 fixing random shit. They'll go to a restaurant and they will chew you the fuck out if a $12 hamburger is mid-well instead of medium. Like people are super particular about their food, so you have to be perfect all the time. So that's why there's just like you constantly have to. That's why, when I get into these spats with people online, like they're not used to somebody like me. Like I'm used to constantly having to. I measure twice, cut once. I measure 4 times and cut once. Like if I open my mouth, I've thought about as many angles as I possibly can before I say anything, because I don't want to look stupid. Because I'm so used to being in an environment where if I did open my mouth and look stupid, I'm fucked. I'm fucked for the next forever. I'm like, I might as well just switch kitchens, because that one instance is gonna, you suck a dick one time and you're fucking for life. You fuck up one time and they will never fucking forget.
And you see, I love how you put that about how fucked up you can get and still show up and turn out. Iron Wings is a vet, and one of the things I was going to say is it was kind of standard for us. We were the fittest alcoholics on the planet. You would be out 15 minutes before PT, and you're like, all right, fuck it, last shot, let's go. Then you get out there, you're doing push-ups and running, and you're going to puke, and there goes your hangover. You're already good to go,
Well, especially so you get a lot of guys that come out of the military go into cooking. And
the structure.
Yeah. Well, technically, like the way a kitchen's set up is from the French. How a kitchen's set up with stations and like a grill. It's actually called a brigade system, and it's because the guy that created its name is Escoffier. It's after he got out of the French army that kitchens weren't ran like that before. He came back and implemented the chef being like the El Capitan, his sous chef being his sergeant, and then all your individual guys is like your infantry.
There's actually an Escoffier over here in Boulder.
Yeah. So that's why he did that. So the kitchens, it attracts the same kind of people. It's a pressure cooker. A lot of guys. I have 3 accounts that I service right now. The chefs are all Marines, former Marines.
Nice.
So they integrate a lot.
No, I mean, and it's an easy. All right, not an easy transition physically, possibly, but mentally, you're already used to that mindset where you're like, you're the boss, you're here, here's my chain of command. So let's get moving forward.
Yep. And the ball busting and the fuckery, the drinking, the fuckery, you're used to that in the military. Like it's the same kind of guys, I'm telling you. It's a running joke at this point. I can't tell you if I'm hanging out at a bar or a social setting and some guy is some military guys there, Army, Marine, or whatever, especially the Marine guys, I will get asked if I am in the Marines every single time. Every single time. I guess it's the demeanor. We have a very similar, we joke about everybody, and people in the kitchen have a real dark sense of humor too. And so do guys in the military. It's very dark and twisted and fucked up, and there's nowhere people will go to make a joke. So I think that's what it is. All the time, guys will be like,
perverted and dark.
No, but I'll buy you a beer.
Dude, it's one of the things in the military that help us get over a whole bunch of shit. You find the humor in the dark. If you can't laugh at the bullshit, you're going to go insane. And Steven, dude, you're fucking Ireland and you work in a fish and chip shop. You got to be pretty shitty to fuck up fish and chips in Ireland. It's like a national disgrace. You'll become English. Sorry, brother.
Dude, fast food is a whole different beast from a regular restaurant. I did fast food. I worked Wendy's, Arby's, Good Times, Dickies, and it is a whole different level of stress than a regular restaurant.
It's a whole different beast.
Well, yeah, and I mean, that's why I think it's great that I have you both on tonight, because you've got, like, the executive side, which, dude, I'm sorry, it's still like, seriously? You know? You look like the guy who should be unloading the truck out back and hosing off the dock, but...
I was at one point.
Well, that's what I love, is how you've come up and how Ellie's gone, like, the other direction and as a different area, which I think is really cool, to get both sides and go, it seems every kitchen's fucked up in the same way.
Oh yeah, Wendy, we would keep Southern Comfort in the freezer.
Yeah, it's the same time. Think about it. You go to the military, right? Because usually, there's a million reasons, but you're looking for like the structure, the guidance, the you know what I mean? Like right. You're usually, unless you're coming out of West Point or Annapolis or something like that, you're not like a straight A student enlisting in the military. You know what I mean? Like nobody I knew was, right? It was just like, well, yes, I'll go serve, right? Well, I mean, when I was graduating, it was 2003, 2004. So all me and anybody wanted to do was go put holes in towel heads, faces, period. 9/11 was 2 years prior. We were itching. We were trying to get our parents to sign off on us at 16. Like, all we wanted to do was go in that sandbox and just fucking die in battle like some Spartan. But, you know, the kitchen's the same way. It's like people that have like mental issues. Like we have like substance abuse problems and like bad homes. We come from like trailers,
mental illness, all sorts of things.
All sorts of fucked up shit.
And that's what I don't want to say it makes it funny, but it's like a full circle, because I know another chef in the bearded community, Sober Chef Eric, and he says the exact same things you guys do. Yeah. He's like, if you're not drunk at the end of your night, were you even working?
Yeah. It's just because you know what it is, man? It's like everybody, well, maybe not now, I don't know, but everybody I know, like if you come from like a normal upbringing, everyone's got problems. Everybody's had somewhat of some sort of a shitty upbringing. You have shit that meant demons. Everybody's got demons, right? You know what I mean? The people that end up in the military, end up in the rest, most of them that end up in the restaurant business just choose to laugh at it and self-medicate it. And you have to be very honest with yourself.
Guilty.
You know what I mean? You have no problem. This is why I don't have a problem. Like, people come at me all the time. Like, I don't. There's nothing you can. I wake up every day. I see the guy. I look at him. I'm best friends with my demons. I don't. It doesn't. Right. Most people, like, they hide behind it and they're scared. They don't want to look at themselves. When you're in the kitchen, man, people are gonna call you on all your shit. So they just put it in your fucking face right here. That's it. Like, man. And like, all right, well, like I had a girl up here at the last restaurant that I was a chef at. And the guys were giving her shit because she was a girl, obviously. And she was like, chef, I don't think I could do this. And I'm like, why? She's like, well, everybody's just so sexist. Everybody keeps bashing on me because I'm a woman. And I'm like, yeah, that's the lowest hanging fruit. I'm like, if you were a dude, and you were fat, they make fun of you because you were fat. If you were skinny, they call you sticks. If you were too tall, they call you too tall. If you were Mexican, they call you a wetback. Like, pick that, they're gonna find whatever can push your buttons, and they're gonna push it. It just because girls, the lowest hanging fruit, that's easy pickings. They're just gonna poke that all day. If calling you a girl or telling you they're gonna chain you to the freezer or something is like gonna make you mad. Like that, then yeah, maybe you shouldn't do this. Like, what you need to do is grow a pair of lady balls and just fucking give it back. She can ask her. She'll know if she was in kitchens. You gotta be a bad bitch.
Fuck it, there we go. She's a badass. Really, truly.
You gotta be. You have to be.
Oh yeah, up at 4 a.m. at work by 5, between 5 and 5:30. Get everything going.
Okay, that's some nasty shit. I will never touch that again, Iron Wings. You couldn't pay me enough to drink those, ever. That's soldier special. No.
That sounds like prison book.
It's like Pruno. I mean, that's the easiest way you can put it. It's like prison wine, bro. No.
That's what we call it. Anytime our jams go bad, we're like, we're making prison wine.
Prison wine, yeah. You open up the lid, you smell the alcohol, you're like,
for 2 gallons. No.
Yeah, look, man, if you want to get someone wants to get drunk, they're gonna figure out a way.
Yeah, but
my God! So that was before I took the position.
Sorry, Lady L, go ahead.
Before I took the position I'm in, they hired somebody as head chef, and he actually drank over half a case. Like, we're talking a case, like a 35 fucking pound case of cooking wine.
Yeah. Before they sold those boxes, there was a reason they sold those boxes, and that's as economical, because they used to just use regular bottles. And when they would come in, I worked at a place, they'd come in and the sous chef would pull the wine bottles, dump salt in them to try to stop the guys from drinking them, which didn't, mind you.
I'm sorry, that's all he's making is Manischewitz.
Yeah, they would pour salt, like handfuls of salt in it, which would suck because you got to account for that when you're cooking with it. But it was, it's everybody likes to drink. It's a pressure cooker, man. It's the same reason everybody drinks in the military. You're dealing with a lot more serious shit than the kitchen, but
think about it. They used to have bowls of cocaine in some kitchens back in the day.
Yeah.
On the line.
I can't tell you how many dozens and tens of tens. I mean, probably 50 plus times I've walked into a kitchen 6 o'clock in the morning, and there's literally lines being cut out by chefs chef and the owner or whoever right there, like on the stainless steel prep table, like right there.
Nice. So I'm going to switch gears on you real quick. I got one deep question for you, and then we're going to get to the fun, okay? So hold on. I kind of got to mute my mic because I got to get somebody upstairs. So hold on. All right. So see how I have two chefs here? And Lady L, go ahead. Ha! Finally, I got somebody. You know how waitresses and waiters get you all the time? Hey, how's your food? Look at you. Yeah. Now you know how it feels. This one's kind of a deep one. And I've been thinking how to phrase this one all week. And this is for both of you. What does being a chef mean to you?
Ladies first.
Oh, you can go first.
I said ladies first.
Oh, all right. Food is love. Food is just everything. Making happiness, spreading happiness. It's love language. We all gotta eat and you can tell when somebody cooks something and it is not made with love. 100%.
Answer in a moment, okay? So being a chef for you is like your love language. Cooking is how you express yourself.
Probably why I like baking so much.
I can see that. All right, chef, come on.
I don't know if she was done yet. I mean, I understand where she's coming from. I know it's a little different. I mean, it depends. It's kind of twofold, right? Like it's definitely a state of heart, like she's saying. Like it's a state of heart. You can. It's a state of heart, but it's also, to me, it's as simple as a title. As cold as that sounds, like it's both. You know what I mean? Like if you take somebody who is like you take me for instance, right? Like I was an executive chef. If you take me and I go get a job at, I don't know, Longhorn, right? As a line cook, it's a state of heart. I'm still gonna do what I did. I'm still gonna conduct myself the way I did, and I'm still gonna put out the product as best I can, like I did, whether I have the title or not. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? So the word chef really it gets thrown around like in weird ways. So it's kind of hard because some people see it like she does, like it's like I said, like a state of heart, you know. But like me, like people still to this day, because everybody's known me for so long as a chef, they call me chef, and I'm like, I'm not a chef. I don't run any kitchens. You know what I mean? Because it's a title, is what it is. It's like your job description.
So when I call you that, it's kind of like your call sign, like military wise. It's kind of
exactly. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I don't ever. It doesn't bother me or anything like that. I'm just saying, like people call me a chef, and like Bourdain wrote it in his second book, and I understood it later on. It was like you almost feel. Because I'm not. Oh, is the little girl still there?
Yeah, she's right here.
I'm not.
She's heard worse. Trust me. So you're fine.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm almost. Okay, the first word wasn't fuck.
I'm not balls deep in checks to the floor and man fucking a stove for 18 hours a day. So I almost feel like you'll never hear me call myself a chef right now because I'm not doing it. Does that make sense? Yeah, like I'm not, I know what it takes. I know what it does. So like I got the back problems to prove it. I got the scars on my knuckles and hands to prove it. So it's like, everybody calls me chef. Like at my job right now, out of 140 area managers, they still call me chef. But to me, it's also like there's a certain respect to it. So you won't hear me. Right. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm not there right now. Like I'm not sitting there beating that stove to death, with just sweat pouring down my face, trying not to get it on the plate. And when it does, just wiping it and being like, oh, that's just flavor. It's fine. Just letting it go.
It's extra seasoning. That's why it's a little salty sometimes.
It's good. It's good. It's fine. Wet rag. There you go.
All right. Now we've got a treat for you two. As you see, the cuteness factors kind of joined us. And I told her I was having some chefs come on. And she has some questions for you guys. Now, that's Lady L up top. Okay. and that's the orange gorilla right down below. So you make sure when you ask your questions, speak up. Don't mumble, okay? Now, who do you want to ask first? Oh, well, tell. Go ahead. You want to talk to the orange gorilla? Go ahead. Here, hold on. You're over by the mic more, so go ahead. Speak.
The first one I'm going to say is for the orange gorilla.
Go ahead.
First one is, what made you want to be a chef?
Oh God.
She's coming out swinging.
Oh, Jessica.
You might not like this answer, but he's going to try to clean it up.
Yeah, I'm really trying to word this one well. So, what made me become a chef? I was good at it. I didn't, like a lot of people, have a passion for it. I wasn't one of those people. I really, really, really enjoyed the environment. I enjoyed the camaraderie with the other cooks. And I just had a knack for it. When it came to developing flavors and techniques and stuff like that, it all kind of just clicked for me. So that's what made me decide. It was the environment. It was the people that I worked with that made me enjoy it. I was shucking oysters in a little restaurant. And I saw a bunch of big, grown, burly, tattooed guys with big knives and fire. And I was like, that looks awesome. I can't play guitar, but I can do that. So that's what got me into it.
Cool. Okay, what's your next one? Who's it for?
And then the other question I'm going to ask you is, have you ever cut yourself when you're cutting something on a cutting board?
Have I ever cut myself?
Hey, have you ever cut yourself while cutting something on a cutting board? She said.
Oh, yeah, you're going to cut yourself a lot. You're going to cut yourself a lot, yeah.
I think we've all done it.
Huh?
Yeah,
I think we've all done that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I put fillet knives through my hand right here. I've taken this fingertip off. But yeah, I'm sure she's got plenty of war wounds too.
My nail is still growing back from me slicing it off.
Yeah, you're playing with knives and fire, so you're gonna get burned and you're gonna get cut.
Remember how Daddy says, "Damn, it bit me finally." It's kind of with the chef.
Yep, that's what happens. There.
Okay, now ask the soulless demon what you want. Come on, you had these. She said, "What do you cook?"
I cook mostly brunch at my job.
Combination of breakfast and lunch.
So we grunt and brunch.
It's the worst.
Yeah,
she does
it's
brunch,
the most
it's
needed.
It's the worst.
That's why I go in there with the SpongeBob attitude. He is like the biggest influence and inspiration that any chef could have. I mean, come on. He went into the Krusty Krab on the first day, no training, no anything, and expected to take on a giant rush by himself. And he does it every day by himself with a smile on his face. And makes the best food.
Nothing but a 6-pack burner.
Hey, he's on.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, next one.
And then the other one is, do you have like any workers helping you in the kitchen or no?
Any what?
Anybody helping you in the kitchen?
We're like a family. You know, it's a dysfunctional family and we all help each other. There's no, that ain't my job. You do it.
How many?
What's right?
How big is your crew?
My crew is only about 7-8 people, including the dishes.
See, kind of like around here, we all help out, right? Now, please thank both of them for answering your questions. You did a good job.
Thank you guys for answering the questions.
Okay, now go downstairs where it's like 80 degrees cooler.
Yes.
Yeah, go. Whatever, go. It's just where
Remember,
we live.
cornstarch is good for the swamp ass.
I'd say the sun starts on the back end and it's over here now. And even though it says 83 on the thermometer, it's more like 95 in this room.
Ooh.
Yeah, I call it,
Like you said, some cornstarch. Just dust the boys.
Oh, I'm saying there's a review coming up soon. You guys might not want to miss. Just saying.
I'm just saying. I'm saying she's totally spot on. Some cornstarch. Nothing's better.
Just don't put too much or you get a butt slurry.
I'm just saying, when you're walking around with biscuits in your pants, hey.
Well, there's
Making
a fine
tempura.
line. Like when you step back and there's an outline of your shoes, you know you got them perfect. You're like, all right, good, you got it. Like you don't like that's when you know you got them good. You know what I mean? You really want to powder it properly. Yeah, you don't want biscuits, but you also don't want the chafe monster just chewing up your thunder thighs.
I learned that lesson in basic training after an 18-mile road march in briefs. Never worn briefs again since that point, ever.
You must have been bleeding.
Oh, look at me.
Dude, the chub
Poor
rub,
McNugget.
18 miles.
And then having to do PT the next day, we're doing that bow-legged run. And what the hell's wrong with you, Private? It hurts. It hurts.
It's like you need like a full 48 hours of just laying in bed with your legs spread eagle just to like let it heal.
Not basic, but still adapt, improvise, and overcome. Get off your ass forward.
There you go.
I say that all the time.
What did you just say?
Adapt, improvise, overcome, and move.
And what did she just say?
Oh, I say that all the time.
That's what my point was. I didn't even have to say it. She goes, "We do it all the time." To your point about it being like the military, that is literally like she said it before I even said it. It's adapt and overcome and improvise. That is like the motto of any kitchen. You will have to adapt, improvise, and overcome a daily.
I'm sorry.
All right, so here's a question for you. Do the servers hate you so much that they have the most modded staff tickets? Out of all the mods they can do all day, the staff ticket is the worst.
Oh, me? Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't play that shit. No. What I see, where I came from, I learned. I worked in French kitchens with these French and like Swedish and Italian chefs. So we had family meals. So I fed all the servers pre-shift for two reasons. One, they're fed because if you know, she knows, like 7:30ish, 7 o'clock, right when like shit's hitting the fan. All the fucking servers are like fucking scrounging, eating pieces of random bread, food off the fucking plates. They're eating French fries and shit.
They're like seagulls.
Yeah, when you're hungry, you can't think straight. So exactly like weasels. So you sit there and so the idea is like I feed them really well in the beginning, so they won't crash at 7 o'clock and like be gnawing on stuff. And the second part is, after I get done shelling off 300 covers, you can eat a gigantic bag of dicks if you think I'm cooking anything for you guys. You can go to McDonald's. I'm not, because like she said, we'll
Looks like a Dead Sea
bleeding.
Scroll.
Yeah, we'll say the ticket's bleeding because all the modifiers come up red, and it'll just be because they think it's funny. No, fuck that. The second I had any say in that, the second I became like an executive chef, I was like, okay, we're done. Not doing this anymore. Because they will. They think it's funny.
Oh yeah, they make their own meals.
Yeah. Like just it's this modified. You're like sitting there with like a Da Vinci decoder trying to figure out what the fuck they want. And you're like ringing the bell and you're like, what is this?
Sorry, I could just see you with your Captain Crunch decoder ring
Yeah, you know what I mean? You're like, what the fuck are they like? What are they trying to do? You know, like you're trying to clean up and go get drunk because just drown your feelings away. This bitch wants a hamburger modified so much it looks like pasta. You're like, what? You're like, oh, it's just.
Or they modify their salads even. Their salads.
Yeah,
you can't even have a salad without modifying it.
Yeah, it'd be like no cuke, add cuke. And you're like, wait, what? They'll just do it just to add shit to the goddamn ticket. You're like, okay, I'm gonna light these on fire. I'm just gonna throw them in the oven. I burned them so many times. I'm just like, okay, fire. Throw them on the grill.
But that's the thing is, if front of house treats us nice and treats us respectfully, back of house will do anything for them. We'll take a bullet for them.
We will fight people for them.
Yeah,
we will fight because the front of house are like the real pretty people and they're very delicate. They're delicate. Okay, so the back of house we're a little bit more of a rough and tumble group. So it's kind of like, you have like a little brother that's really fucking annoying, right?
Yeah.
And like you'll beat the shit out of him, but if someone else tries to beat the shit out of him, it's like no, that's my brother. You can't beat the shit out. That's my brother to beat the shit out of him. Like,
and it's funny you say that because that's what I tell my oldest boy every fucking day. You're my chew toy. You're nobody else's but mine.
Yeah.
No one gets to fuck with you but me.
Exactly. It's like, so you'll go to bat for them because they're like your little siblings, right? Like, you know, they have a 4-table section and they fuck half the shit up. Meanwhile, you're trying to sit there and run an entire restaurant, and they got to come in and ask you if the salmon's in season, like it's a fucking fruit. And you're like, what? You know? I just got triple sat. Like, so did I. I'm the one cooking it. What are you talking about? Yeah, I got 18th sat, whatever the fuck that means.
Oh no, I have this many tables in my section. I just can't handle it. It's like I got all the fucking tables. Fuck you.
Yeah, I have all the tables, all of them, every one of them. I'm worried about all of them. I fucked up. Can I get this on the fly?
It's like I got the fly swinging.
Yeah. You don't. I have the fly button. It's the big red button that I push that makes things get done faster. You don't have the button. It's my button. We keep the button back here.
Why am I getting visions of servers ducking, flying, fucking, pans and everything else?
You can't even. Well, hold on. Well, that's servers. You have your bartenders. Now the bartenders technically are front of house, but they're really back of house employees. So the bartenders are basically just the really good looking cooks. So we stick them out front to make money.
Sorry.
So that's really, we pimp them out is what we do. We teach them how to make make drinks. That's what we do. I will try. I'm sorry.
Rolls are in the back.
Okay, I'm sorry. Love you. So yeah, that's what we do. We pimp them out to go make money with making drinks. Because
here we go. Now everything's back.
If you ever see a bunch of when all the cooks go out to drink, you will see the bartender hanging out with them. You will never see servers hanging out with them. So the bartenders are they're like purgatory. There's like heaven, hell, and they're like in the middle.
Okay. I can see that. But before we continue on this, I do have one question for you, Steve, that I got to get answered. You ready?
Shoot.
You may not be able to, I don't know, statute limitations, but whatever. So this year's Blade, when you showed up, how many orders of protection did you get going by booze?
Oh gosh. Now, you know what was weird this year at Blade, which is wild, is I couldn't walk 10 feet without somebody recognizing me. It was weird because I've been at Blade Show 3 or 4 years now. And usually somebody will recognize me, here or there. It was everybody, every 10. I saw nothing. I literally just hung out with Jared, Kara, Lee, Justin. We all just hung out, and Richie and Lindy, and every fucking they'd be in a group and we'd walk, and then I'd be off for 20 minutes because somebody would be like, "Yo, Steve, hey," am I making all? Yeah, I made all these new friends. No orders of protection. None of the booths. I went by the Microtech booth a few times, which was oddly set up right next to the Medford booth. It was literally Microtech, Paratech, and Medford in the middle.
I can see it. You're walking by, hi, and they're like, motherfucker.
Yeah, I was just saying hi. I was looking for Anthony. I was like, where's Tony? They're like, who? I'm like, Tony. Where's Tony? We're on a first name basis. Where's Tony?
So, question: do you ever feel like a freaking shooting gallery on the line sometimes, just walking back and forth?
Oh yeah. You talking about chucking shit? Oh yeah, the work.
And doesn't it help that if you bounce it off the cold pass, it gets good aim?
Yes, if you get extra points for deflection, or if you can hit it off if you can bounce it off a server and hit somebody.
Yes,
depending on what it is, overcooked bread.
If it bounces off their boob and hits the next one.
Bam! It's like when you ever play beer pong. If you get 2, you get extra points. Same thing. The worst shooting galleries. I worked at 3 different bread and pastry bakeries. Those are the worst. Dudes will fling dough all fucking night. Because it's overnight. So these are really fucked up people because it's an overnight shift. You're working 10 in the morning or 7 in the morning or 7 at night till 7 in the morning. So these people are really fucked because they don't sleep like normal people. They're like vampires. So there's only 5 of them, right? And everyone's just retarded and on a million drugs. So that's the worst. I've been hit with more shit in bread bakeries I think, than a line. I'm usually pretty quick on the line because I'm like focused. But in a bakery, you're just like kneading, you're making like rolls and you're kneading all this dough on a wood board. You're just like in the zone, and all of a sudden it's just like, wow, this like big, like a Danish just hits you in the face. And they'll throw it hard too. There was this Haitian guy named Bruno one time. Yeah, his name was Bruno, and he was Haitian. It's weird because when they told me I needed to meet, yeah, they were like, you need to meet Bruno, and so it was an Italian bakery. So I was assuming like Bruno, like this big, hairy-chested, chubby dude. Yeah, and this like skinny Haitian guy walks up. I'm like, "You're Bruno?" Yeah, that dude pelted me in the face with like a. You know what a black and white cookie is?
Oh,
yeah, he hit me in the face so hard with a black and white cookie. I got mad. Like, you ever get smacked upside the head so hard you get angry? Like you're mad you got hit? That's how hard he hit me with that cookie.
dang.
Like right here. Yeah.
Dude,
Shooting
got
down.
slapped by a cookie. That's just priceless.
Oh, he's
A
like
pancake.
super athletic. Yeah, he
It's
probably
really hard and crusty and hurts, and it throws like a frisbee.
that's literally it hit me like kind of sideways, like pow. And I was just like head down. I'm just like making all these bread rolls and stuff like that, like hoagies and stuff. And just, bam.
You know, I agree with you, Grader. I mean, I know that it would damage the restaurant's reputation, but I would love to go out to one day, just set up a camera and catch all the bullshit that goes on in the back and laugh my ass off.
Oh, it's nuts. That's the funny thing is like they always try to make movies, trying to replicate what's going on in the kitchen. If you just had just the security cameras, just play those. If there was a show like Cops where it just filtered back and forth through like feeds of different restaurant cameras, you'd make a killing. Like you don't need to script anything. Like anything. Like anything. You just flip through it at like 7:00, like right when the rush is hitting, and just watch all the retard people getting burned, poked, bleeding, stuff flying, people hitting bottles and key bumps under the cold station, like you name it.
And then my favorite is when they ask why, and I go, because fuck you, that's why.
See why I thought you two see?
Go look at my Instagram. Every time I hashtag, it's because fuck you. That my pronouns on Instagram are cuz/fuck/you/that/why. Like it's not just me. I'm like an anomaly to the knife community, but I'm just a normal, like I'm a normal, regular dude in the kitchen world. Like they're all just like me.
It's a vibe.
She goes, because why? Because fuck you, that's why. It's exactly why. That's exactly why.
That's like, why when I put this together in my head, I'm like, who can we get that's gonna vibe? The Soulless Demon and the Orange Gorilla. We're good.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's like as long as that's like the young kids. The young kids they're more delicate. They're like, as is most of the younger guys. They're a little more.
Mr. Greg, we've known this for a while, okay? We
Look,
really
right.
have.
You can't be normal. Well, you know what? Normal is relative.
Yes.
We're normal in the kitchen. It's everybody
100%.
else that's a little worrisome.
100%. Totally normal in the kitchen.
I've seen
and
this.
Look, she's proving my point. She's exactly like she's saying the same shit I say. She's just like me. It's just a kitchen thing. I'm just a regular kitchen dude.
Lady L is now Steve with boobs.
Dude.
It's just a regular. I'm telling you, I'm weird to everybody else, but I'm just a regular ass kitchen guy. Like I'm telling you, they're dudes.
So let's throw an oddball one out there, in case anybody's still watching this point, thinking about being a chef. I think I heard one of the greatest quotes ever about one of the biggest things you need to succeed in the kitchen is a thick skin, because the thicker your skin is the more shit you can take. Is the further you're willing to go to learn and the more progression that you will do. Other than that, what do you guys think is the next thing that is really, really important for young chefs to have?
Lady L?
You're going to make us think, huh?
We're not good at that. More
I don't think I
doers,
smoked enough for this one.
Yeah. A good liver? I don't know.
You know, a thick skin is definitely important because there's going to be a lot of perverted jokes, a lot of harsh jokes. It's going to be dark humor. Like there's times when I say the fryer needs to be changed, it's darker than my humor.
Or it's darker than my soul.
Yeah. Its dad left for Newport and never came back.
Exactly. There we go. Now we're getting some real. There we go. Especially if you're a girl. If you're a girl wanting to get into cooking in a professional kitchen, you need to have exceptionally thick skin.
There we go.
Yeah. You have to be prepared to hear that women belong in the kitchen, but not a professional kitchen.
Exactly.
And no matter how hard you work in some kitchens, you'll never be seen as an equal. You'll never have that respect from some of the egos that are out there. So
started the show with, you guys are full of egos. And I get it with the amount of training that you've got and what you can do. I mean, I would have never believed in a million years he was an executive chef, ever. You know, and
it's how I was bred. You know what I mean? It was like I was bred that way. Like I worked under a bunch of nutty European dudes slinging pans and it's so here you go. You got to have a really strong
Max with spatulas.
Yeah. You have to have, here's another thing. If you're a young cook, you have to have an extremely strong work ethic. Like a wickedly strong work ethic. You have to go in there knowing that you're going to shuck oysters and you're going to shuck oysters for a year. Here we go. Here's another thing that drives me crazy. For some reason, the dish pit is like this now forbidden zone that nobody wants to do. It's one of the easiest jobs. You're quite literally the heart of the kitchen, because if you decide to bounce, everything ceases to function. If you bust ass, you're going to get treated like gold by everybody in the back of the house. Period. They're going to treat you like fucking gold. They're going to cook you whatever you want. They're going to give you whatever drugs they got. They're going to fucking sneak. If you're 16 years old, okay, and you go working in the kitchen, you want to get booze for your friends? Go work in the kitchen. Go in the dish pit. Bust fucking ass. Have those guys pans and those fucking shit back and forth. Those dudes will buy you all the alcohol you want without even question. Without question. If you're a badass on that thing and they don't have to worry about it, you're worth your weight in gold at 16. You will be the coolest dude at the party, showing up with handles that a bunch of 30-year-olds buy you.
I can see that. I mean, seriously, I can see that because you're showing up, you're putting in the effort, and like we've talked about before on multiple occasions, hard work pays off. Not a lot of people want to put in that effort anymore nowadays. So,
That's
yeah,
the problem.
I can see that.
That's why you see so many restaurants closing, because they can't find staff. Because nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to. That's what I'm saying. If you want to be a chef, that's your aspiration. I want to be a restaurant chef. Because there's a lot of different jobs in the culinary field. I'm on a board of advisors at a local college here in Georgia. And there's lots of jobs in the culinary world. But if you want to be a restaurant chef, that's like the prestige, right? You want to be an executive chef in a restaurant. You have to be very, very, very strong work ethic. You got to know you're going to bust ass for a decade before you get that position, minimum, even if you're great.
See, I think that's great. What I've known about you and what you've shared, brother, you're coming full circle. You're coming right back to basically where you started, and you're helping pass that on to the next generation.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. That's why, like you said, your daughter wanted to talk. Like I'm always eager to talk to people, young people. Whenever I get some 35-year-old that comes up to me, he's like, "Hey, I want to go be a chef." I'm like, "You're already fat. You can't be fat starting out." I'm like, "You can't be a fat line cook yet. Like you have to get fat. You can't." You're out of shape, dude. Like you're past. You can't. There's like you're not built for that. You can't. You got to be like young and spry and have good discs in your back and like cartilage in your
funk and not tainted by the industry yet.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like you got to be able to. You're not gonna adapt. You know what I mean? It's like trying to go squat 500 pounds when you never squatted before. It's just not gonna work. You're gonna get crushed. You can't just. But all the young people, I'm always eager to talk to young people and talk to them about it.
Oh, and be prepared to lift stuff too for any newbies that want to be a chef, because you do lift a bunch of heavy shit. I mean, you're going up to at least 75 pounds.
All day.
Every day.
You're on your feet 12, 14, 16 hours. Like
it's that's why I was saying what he said and I said earlier, this is one of the hardest working industries there is. And people have to be prepared for a lot of physical labor. And the biggest thing that I tell some of my younger cooks is think about what you want to do when you're not cooking anymore. Because this industry is hard on your body and you can't cook forever. What do you want to do when you're not cooking?
Yeah, why do you think I'm doing what I'm doing when I had the opportunity? I was 33 and I left because I can't sit there and fuck that stove until I'm 50. It ain't gonna work like that. Like your body's only, you know, so many miles. They start adding up. They start adding. So it's. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's like any blue collar industry, man. Like if you were a fucking welder, you're not gonna you can't sit there and hang off scaffolding and fucking do that till you're 70. You know, you should have some aspirations to be a foreman or whatever, where you're not doing as much, you know, manual labor. Like it's also unique. So the kitchen's unique. Like you have to be. It's physically demanding, but there's a tremendous amount of mental agility and mental acuity you have to have. Because you're doing very technical things on the line. You're having to cook things to perfection hundreds of times in a night, right?
And the ability to listen to like 4 people at once.
At the same time, while also minding your space while people are moving around you in space. So you're expected to perform better as the hours get longer. So on Friday night, when I'm at hour 40, right? That's when it's go time. Right? I could be at hour 40, 50, whatever. Let's say I'm the chef. I'm at hour 60 on Friday. Well, Friday night, Saturday, I got to be at the best because that's my busiest nights, right? So in a lot of industries, like a lot of other trade industries, like usually it's like Monday you kind of drag ass, Tuesday, Wednesday you bust ass, Thursday you start to taper it down, Friday we cut out early and hit the bar at 3, right? Like the restaurant industry is different. It just tapers up as your hours add up. So you got to be physically and mentally at your best when you have the most hours under your belt. So that's why I say a work ethic. You got to be able to grind through that kind of stuff. You got to look forward to it. Like this, most chefs, most cooks, most chefs look at like the good ones. Look when crazy shit happens, they get excited about it. They're like, oh shit. Like a 20 top just walked in and they're like, oh yeah. Like everybody like can we get it all out at once? You know what I mean? Like, and then you got the shitty ones who are just like, oh my God, it's 7:30. What are we gonna do? It's like that's gonna pay your paycheck, bro, because it's kind of what you do for a living. So you might go. You better hope a couple more of those walk in.
See, I want to get a poster of Cusco from Emperor's New Groove that says "Bring it on."
Yes, exactly. That's the mentality you have to have. It's you have to want the work. You have to want the challenge.
See, I love that you guys put that. It's controlled chaos.
Yes.
But it's disorganized as fuck, but it's controlled.
Yeah.
No, it's not disorganized. It's just there's a lot of moving parts. In the chaos where there's like it's extremely organized. Yeah, it's extremely organized. But it's like man, it's like doing blow for the first time. Like you're always chasing that high. Like when you go to work in a kitchen and it's a Friday night and you're just firing on all cylinders and everybody is, and you're just watching these like plates boom, 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 boom. And every hour and a half the manager's walking in and he's like, yo, table yada yada is raving. This person's raving. This is great. This is great. And then at the end of the night, you're like, oof. Like you just like you it's like mission accomplished. You know what I mean? Like now there's a lot of fuckery, like there's a lot of bad days where like shit goes completely sideways and you gotta push, you gotta adapt and overcome. But it's your own.
And you totally apologize for all the things you said during the rush after the rush.
Sorry.
Now a lot of people don't get that either. Yeah, they don't get that. You're like move. They're like, you're very rude. It's like, yeah, well, there's not really time for pleasantries. You know, when I have 90 seconds to get this food on the plate, or else it dies. Like it goes cold.
And that's what always makes me giggle because it would never really work in Washington State where I'm at, where politically correct is everything. I can't see this in the kitchen. Golly gee, look, Mr. Sir, he, him, her, she, could you please, if you're so willing, would you please get out of my way so I may get to that and get that spice? No, I can just see it because it's like in the military. Move, motherfucker, or I'm going to move you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't get in the way. If you don't want me to yell at you, just don't get in the way.
There's a reason I got called a baby rhino.
Yeah, so truck a motherfucker over.
Don't mention that around Andrew. You know he's got that obsession with rhinos. We may never see you again, Lady L.
It's the horns. Yeah, you gotta if you're young and you want to get in the industry, you gotta have way more than passion. There we go. I hear that shit all the fucking time. I have a passion to cook. I don't care about your passion. Can you work? Because cooking professionally and cooking at home, very different things. You're cooking for your family. Like when you're cooking in a kitchen, professional kitchen, it's robotic, it's mechanical. Like if you're working the grill, you're gonna make the same 7 steaks or 7 pieces of protein every fucking night, over and over again, for eons, thousands of times a night, and you have to be perfect every fucking time. And the one time it comes back because it's overcooked, you're gonna get fucking hell for it. So it's not like you're not sitting there creating. I think people feel like in their head it's like you watch Chef's Table and it's like this, like all these people with tweezers walking around and like making these pretty things with foam and fucking smoke everywhere. Yeah, in like a Michelin star restaurant that people pay, $5,000 a seat for, and 99.9% of the restaurants that you work in, it's a bunch of dudes with aluminum pans, fucking busting ass, sweating balls. Everyone making a component of that dish to go out to you perfect.
You see, and
Speaking of people that bust, oh, sorry, you first.
I love how you brought that up because, like we've talked about before, and the Cuteness Factor's huge obsession is Master Chef. There is a big difference between having a passion of going, I'm going to make my family the greatest tuna casserole ever. When you're opening a craft dinner and let the water boil, as opposed to like you and I talked about when the patron saint of all chefs passed on, and you got that phone call when you were kneading bread and doing things. I'm like, that's a hell of a lot of difference,
Big difference.
And
like I said, it's mechanical.
Yeah, and when a good friend of mine sent me that photo, I had to send it to you.
I love that. I saw that. I was like, I want that in stained glass in my house.
I'm just saying, right? Lady, I'll send you that photo later. It's the patron saint of all chefs, Anthony Bourdain. You'll love it.
Nice. There's times in the kitchen we go, let's pray to the kitchen gods in the name of Anthony Bourdain, ramen.
Yes, ramen. For real. Like when you know shit's gonna go wrong, you're like, Anthony, please, Tony, please, because there's a lot of that. You know what I mean? Like there's there's plenty of times where you're just you're way behind on tickets and shit's coming up and you're just fucking you're touching that, you're
touching your toes.
Yeah, you're sitting there poking that steak 17 times, like please just go medium, please. You're throwing it in the back of the oven. You're trying to get that
steak. How's
that
steak doing?
Please. There's a lot of adapting, and that's the other thing too. There's a lot of young guys and girls when they come in, they think the adapt and overcome part they never knew. They think it's all like They're like, oh well, in those no, I promise you, I don't care if it's a 3 Michelin starred restaurant. Shit hit. Matter of fact, that Chef's Table, it was a Chef's Table. One of those shows. There's one of those shows where it's years ago.
Or Hell's Kitchen got a chef table.
See, I told you. We start talking about rhinos. Hey, Andrew, how are you, brother?
There's one of those shows where they go to a restaurant. It's called El Bulli, right? And this was considered like the frontier restaurant for molecular gastronomy, like all the crazy foams and gels and shit. This is the guys that invented it. And in the documentary, the whole theme of the menu was water. That's how fucking nutty these guys are. And he goes to the table, and it's some sort of oil and water infusion. And he goes to the table, and he does it, and he comes back, and he's like, shit. And they're like, what? He's like, I use sparkling water instead of still water. And they're like, how'd it work? He's like, the guests loved it. He's like, oh shit. And they start laughing. That's that is the highest level of kitchen in the world. Shit still gets fucked up. Adapt and overcome. He saw the bottle of water, knew it was sparkling, was like, fuck it, I gotta go with this. I can't fuck this up. Boom, poured it, acted like it was supposed to happen. Again, this is the pinnacle. This is the highest, most organized. People were flying. You had cooks that were flying around the world, sleeping on the floor of that place just to get to see what those guys did. Like international, you name it. Yeah, and so stuff like that happens every single night. You have to go in there. Nothing's perfect. And a perfect night is when nothing comes back and everybody's happy. It's not nothing went wrong in the kitchen. Like the fucking kitchen could be on fire, and as long as the guests don't know, then we're good. And I mean that literally. Like literally,
I'm getting visions of broken lizards, slamming salmon movie in my head.
Yeah, and she knows what I'm talking about. It's like it doesn't matter. Like there's a ton of shit that goes wrong in the kitchen. Everybody's like riding on a razor's edge, but that's what you like. That's the adrenaline part about it. You know what I mean? You're like, can you keep up? Right? Can you get these? Like she does brunch. Brunch is gnarly. I did brunch for 5 years. Brunch is like You have like 5-minute ticket times, and it's eggs, and it's Benedicts, and it's things that are super delicate that'll break, and people are super particular about their fucking eggs and how fucking brown their toast is, and everything's got to be out super fast, and there's a ton of prep. Everyone hates brunch. Anybody
yeah, and we cater to vegan and vegetarian.
What did you just? If I had a vegan come to my brunch, like give a vegan option, I'd be like, "There's grass, like, like there's a patch of grass outside, like." The dog peed in it. It's organic. It's fine. It's
flavoring.
It's
But now,
yeah.
ticket times. I think I got a great question for you. Is there like a perfect ticket time? Like you want to get it out before a certain
12 minutes or less.
Yeah, for an entree, yeah. That's what you like, yeah. 12 minutes or less, yeah. Now that's in a perfect situation where the server takes the order, goes in and puts it in, and you get it within 30 seconds. That's not the server holding the fucking check for 10 minutes and they're going, oh shit, I forgot. Punching it in, and then you get it, and then you're 22 minutes in, but you don't know it, which happens every night. This is why we hate servers.
Yeah, and speaking of weird shit, what is it with you guys in naming restaurants? And I'm going to pick 3. I mean, like Gordon Ramsay's burger. Fucking really? There's a guy up in Canada, Canoe. Another R&D.
So there's a food truck that's just down the alley from my job called Pork Hub, and it's the Pornhub logo.
Nice.
Weird people, man. We're weird people. You know, there's one around here called Cheese Louise. It's a grilled cheese food truck. I mean, I've seen. He was a Christian guy. Praise the Lord was a barbecue place.
Yeah, but I'm like, you're this massive chef, this Michelin star winner, and your restaurant's named Canoe.
All the high-end restaurants.
Canada, but
you have Alina, Per Se, the French Laundry. They're all fucking weird. I don't know. These guys, egos. It's very vogue. You know what I mean? These are egos.
Yeah.
It's egos. They want it to sound.
I mean, we can come up with good dishes. Doesn't mean we can name shit.
Yeah, it's all delicious. It's just don't know what to call it.
That R&D is an Asian fusion restaurant. I would never think research and development. I need to get me some egg rolls.
Yeah. Who would have thought the French Laundry? I'm gonna go get food. Like is it a laundromat? I have no fucking or Per Se or there's all kinds of weird fucking like we got a barbecue restaurant over here called the Eighth Pig. Like they come up with I don't know. It's just a weird burger. Yeah, they just there's like I said, El Bulli, the bull.
It blows my mind hearing these things, and I'm like, you're making how much money, granted at his level with all his Michelin stars, and you fucking call your place burger? Really?
Like, because he can.
I don't know. Think about it. Bobby Flay named his cat Nacho.
Yeah. You know why Gordon Ramsay named that burger?
Because he can.
Because fuck you, that's why. That's exactly why. Because fuck you, that's why. Well,
I knew that was coming.
Fuck you. I mean, whatever I want. I'm goddamn Gordon Ramsay. I got fucking 7 stars. I'll do what I want. I'll call it Tweedledee, and people will eat it.
Now, and there's the other thing. I know we talked about this before, Chef, about restaurants getting their stars, but chefs can get their own individual stars on meals.
Not that I know of. Maybe that's a new thing the Michelin guys do. I have no idea. You know what? Matter of fact, it does sound. Yeah, maybe that sounds like a very liberal fucking thing to do. Like it's not the restaurant. Oh, the chef got the star on whatever fucking dish he got. Yeah, that sounds very 2022. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. It's like participation trophies for everybody.
Yeah, because it made me giggle. Like I said, going down those rabbit holes, and they're like, "You think you're good? Come back to me when you get stars like I have." I'm like, can't you just fucking give him a little bit of encouragement? He's trying really hard to win a stupid trophy on a game show, and you're like, fuck you.
Well,
why? Why should we be nice? It's just a matter of, it's not that we can't be nice, but be honest, be forward.
I have my suspicions about somebody down there, but I'm not pointing any fingers, none whatsoever.
Well, it weeds people out. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's a strongest survive situation. Like the kitchens, man. The kitchen's one of the very few like still black and white industries.
Sink or swim.
Yeah, it's just like you either can or you can't. You know, Bourdain talked about it in his book. He's like, you can either make 200 omelets an hour as the job needs, or you can't. Doesn't matter, girl, guy, doesn't matter what nationality you are, what race you are, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if your name is Tom and you're 6'3", 300 pounds, and you want to wear high heels on the grill. If you're a badass on the grill, nobody gives a shit. So it's like, it's a hazing almost. Being an asshole like that, it hazes out the weak ones. Only the guys that want to rip your throat out by being better are the ones that are going to come back. You know, I had a chef one time. Every time you bring a dish to the pass, you put stuff on the plate to the pass. He did this for like 2 weeks. He'd look at you and he'd be like, "Is that your best?"
I remember you telling me that just to fuck with your head. And
yeah, and you're like,
your head and go,
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, either yes, and hope he doesn't fucking throw it at you, or no, and he's gonna look at you like, "Why did you bring it then?" So it's just that, yeah, it's like a hazing. It just weeds everybody out. All the weak ones, like that girl, she left. Good. She doesn't deserve to be in the kitchen. She has no business doing that. If she can't handle some dudes making fun of her tits, I don't care. Like, it's just
Exactly.
sorry. Like, you're not gonna. Yeah, like I said, if she was a dude with tits, they would make fun of her tits or his tits or whoever it was. Like, it doesn't.
Did anybody else notice that chef goes make fun of her tits and lady else like exactly? Bam, there they are. Kelly.
It's because it is. It's, look.
Oh my god! I better be careful.
Like I said, low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit.
Oh my god! All right, so we're gonna switch to another topic I love to talk about, and we know it's mental health, especially seeing how I have two buck-up chefs. I say that with a lot of respect. Okay.
It's very true.
I know drugs and alcohol are a very common coping mechanism for people in your profession. Outside of that, what do you guys do to calm down at the end of the night, especially after, I don't know, this big, huge fucking rush, Murphy's Law took over, and everything just went berserk? What do you do to cope? Other than drugs and alcohol. I'm taking the low-hanging fruit away, all right?
You took away our only options.
Besides that, I know after shift, we go outside and just have a safety meeting. We call it safety meeting, but it's just a gathering of all of us chilling outside. Some people with vapes, some people with cigarettes.
Breathing.
All of us just talking about the day and just laughing and having a good time. And the biggest thing I remember to tell everybody is when they get too stressed is that all our hard work ends up in the sewer.
It's all shit. There you go. You thought that looked good? It's poop. Literally. I never heard that. That's good. It's good.
Yep, and it's true. All of our hard work ends up in the sewer.
It's very New York of you. Yeah, that sounds totally like somebody from New York would say. It's rad.
You guys heard it from True North? Please go ahead and do that. It will only bring you good karma.
Good juju.
Exactly. All right, guys. I got to be a dad tonight. I really, really appreciate the time that you guys gave me. This has been really informative on a different level, having, the male and female version of one person on screen at once. Kind of creepy. So when, the therapy bills roll in.
Oh, it ain't my fault.
Keep saying that. But we're going to leave you guys with one last interesting little thought. We've been in here for about an hour and 10 minutes, laughing, enjoying things, having a great time with no drama, no bullshit, no anything. Carry tonight's energy forward in your life. Laugh your ass off. Look at things and go, fuck it. That's why. Fuck it. Not fuck you, but fuck it when things happen. If it's a better
bucket.
Exactly. Just keep moving forward. Laugh at it. Enjoy it. Embrace it. Because, like I've been saying recently, I'm going to keep saying it until someone can quote that movie. You can't change the world, but you damn sure can make a dent in it. And get out today and make a dent in that damn world. I will be surprised if you don't know that movie. I'll tell you in the green room after. I know you know it. It is a great, dark comedy. Very, very dark.
They got me thinking.
True North, that stuff is awesome. If you need help picking out anything, send me a message, brother. But guys, I've got another survival food unbagging queued up for tomorrow. I had an MRE, but somehow my camera shit the bed and I lost all that video. So no, I'm going to suffer through another one of those. No. But it's going to be. Now, I always throw this out. You guys have anything coming up that maybe you might want to let anybody know who's following you, other than a bail hearing? Okay.
You know, unlike stereotypical cook, I've never been arrested or gone to jail.
Wow. It's because she's a girl.
Yeah, you know I'm not believing that, right, Lady L?
It's because she's a girl. Cops don't
And
like
I've never
arresting
been
chicks.
institutionalized.
Yes.
She's like, no, officer, I didn't know. Sorry.
She's like, no, officer. No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like, you know, it's like, how many cops are going to arrest a girl? They're going to arrest all the dudes in the car.
Right?
Like, I'm going to jail. I'll go to jail.
Like, you want me to just get the back seat now?
Yeah. Like, if me and her are in the same car, who do you think's going to jail? Oh,
we already know.
Yeah. They'd be like, man, were you okay to drive? She'd be like, yeah, I'm fine. They're like, okay, good. Take the car home. It'll be like 6 hours for him processing. So
probably, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Coming up, Steve?
Huh?
You got anything coming up you might want to let anyone know about?
Nothing, man. I'm head down. Just working right now.
Sweet. So, guys, like I said, I got to go be a dad. I got to go enjoy the happiness that I can already hear laughter downstairs with the cuteness factor. Both of you, once again, thank you so much for that. You really made her whole entire year with her being able to talk to chefs. That was amazing.
Awesome.
Anytime.
Oh, and I want to give a quick shout out to my chefs to my cooks that showed up today in the chat, Adrian and Tim. They're two of the hardest working youngins I know.
Those are like gold nuggets.
There you go. New York City made you good at the game. Lady L knows. So we're going to hit that little outro. And like I said, guys, take care of yourselves. Be happy. Move forward. Embrace it. If you can't, here comes
Thank
that.
you, man. Appreciate it.
Don't go anywhere. Like I said, green room.
Yes.
Wrong one. Guys, thank you so much for watching what just happened on the show. I'm kind of pre-recording this one, so I'm not exactly sure what happened tonight, but I'm sure it was really fun, or it was a massive train wreck. I'm grateful for the time that you gave me tonight, and I hope you took something away from this. I hope we had an amazing guest that taught you something or made you laugh, or I don't know, I hope I didn't really step on myself too badly. And you guys are going to come back next week at the same bat time, same bat channel, for the No Lag Zone. Guys, seriously, thank you for doing all